Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today is going to be very different because I've never done a story time on here for y'all, and I was like, this is perfect timing because I have nothing but time on my hands to do a story time and it to be about how I became an influencer, how I got to where I am today, how I grew, what did I do, my story. A lot of people don't really know it and I feel like I should have done this a while ago. But what better place to do it and time to do it than now? So I'm gonna try to make this like short and sweet, but it probably won't be because as soon as I start talking and I think of like a story or a part in my life, I just can't stop talking. So let's start with the year and when I started and kind of how this all fell into my lap. Also, my hair is a little dirty, so I'm gonna be like flipping it from side to side to making it look decent. So, I started my entire journey, natural hair journey, influencer journey in 2015, ending of 2014. Also, side note, my fire alarm thing needs batteries, so you may hear that at least once or 50 times throughout this video. It's just like chirp, chirp. So I started in 2015 and I graduated college in 2014. I started going natural in 2014. Basically, I had no idea what I was doing, and my mom has straight hair. A lot of my friends don't really have curly hair, and it was hard for me to find people to connect with about natural hair, except for like the internet. I remember watching like Mono's Hair and just seeing people and influencers that were talking about their natural hair journey, and I was like, oh my God, I need any help that I can get because my hair was just fried, like terrible. It was sad, and I think that I straightened my hair for so many years because I just didn't know who I was and I was just trying to be somebody that I wasn't. Your natural hair journey is more than just a hair transformation. It's like a whole emotional, like, life path that you take, and I think anybody that went natural can definitely agree, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. So I started basically using Instagram because I loved taking pictures and I just loved seeing pictures being taken. I love photography and I was like, oh, this is fun. And I didn't have an iPhone, so I downloaded it on my like old janky iPad. And this was when I was away at school in Johnson, Wales in Rhode Island. And I feel like I was the only person with an Instagram, and people were just like, why do you have that? And why do you have it on your janky iPad? And that was that. And then my best friend, Lenny, he was a photographer, so he always used me to practice his photography. So I had all these photos and I was just like, might as well post them on Instagram. Then I started sharing what shampoos and conditioners I was using, and basically just looking for people to connect with that were going through the same thing. But at the same time, Instagram was so new, so it was just like weird. And I remember there was like feature pages and like curly hair, natural hair problems pages, and I was like following them all. Lenny had taken a photo of me, and I remember like that photo like went like mini viral, and during the times of then in 2015, and they reposted it, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm a celebrity. When I wasn't, I was just like really gassed because I saw like beautiful girls with poppin' hair on there, and I was just like really trying to get my hair back to its like natural state. So that was like a big deal for me, and I was like, you know what, like maybe I should use hashtags on like all of my pictures, and maybe I should like comment on these other girls' photos, and like, you know, this looks like a really dope community and all that good stuff. So fast forward, all throughout 2015, I was working a full-time job, and I was just basically sharing photos of like my hair and the transformation. And I also had, it was also color treated. Like, who goes natural when they're color treated? Like, why? It's like just hell on earth. Like, I had blonde in my hair, so that was making it even harder. It was just a lot. So I started posting more and like taking selfies and taking pictures in different lipsticks that I got, and basically just watching how like big YouTubers like It's My Ray Ray and people like that were doing it, and I was just like, oh, I could totally do this. Like, it's just like a fun hobby. And I remember meeting like other curly haired girls and going to events, and then like a brand had reached out to me that I loved and was like, hey, you want $40 to do this pictorial? Terrible. And I would do it, and I was just like, oh, $40, like I'm not gonna take money from you. Like, I just want products. I can't afford them. I just came out of college and I don't need money from y'all. Like, you're a brand, like what? It was very different back then, y'all. I want you to know that it was nothing like it is now. Nothing at all. So everyone was kind of new to the whole influencer space, and there was a lot of people like doing it on YouTube and stuff, but it wasn't anything heavy and oversaturated like it is now. So I got my first like paid job. It was like $40. It was like some like no name product conditioner, and I was just like, I'm going natural. I need any products I can get. $40, cool. That's my lunch for the week when I'm working in the city, killing myself. And at the time I was working for Viacom, and I was working for BET, and I was working on a show which you guys may or may not remember, 106 in Park, and I was doing like some production assisting and some styling assisting, and it was a really amazing job, especially to have right after college. But then it ended up being like the show got canceled, and then I moved on to my next job, and I was working for an after school program. I love kids. They are like one of my passions. So my best friend Ava, she got me into this like program to work with kids, and that was like one of my favorite jobs ever. And I was still like posting on the gram, taking more pictures, meeting more girls. I was in like this curly hair group, which was very short-lived. Just like meeting people and going to events, and these girls were telling me like, oh my god, I made $150 like posting this photo, you should try to do it, like you post all the time and you're always like using different brands. And I was just like, huh, $150? Like I need $150. So I was just like basically paying attention and using like Google, and you know, going to other people's pages and seeing what they're doing and using hashtags, and basically it was just like, oh, this is fun, but like I would love it if I could work with a brand, and I would love it if I could get more free products. And then funny story, I had met somebody who worked for Shea Moisture, and I remember getting those products. That was like my first PR package ever. Shout out to Denora, because like she literally sent me like probably like $200 worth of Shea Moisture products. And I'm sorry y'all, if you are fresh out of college and you literally have no money, Shea Moisture products, $200 worth is a very, very big deal, okay? Because when I would get paid from my job, I would buy myself like one natural hair product a week, or like every 2 weeks, because they were like $20, and like you want the good ones. So that's funny, because like that was a really big deal for me, like getting a PR package. I was like, oh my god, free products from a brand that I love. Like I'm gonna post this up a storm. And you know, no, we didn't have IG stories back then, so it was a grid post, okay? Like it was a big deal, y'all. And it just like kind of made me like more excited to post, and more excited to do my hair, and more excited to post and tag brands and like that I wanted to work with. I was like, if I can get a PR package from this person, then I can get a PR package from this person and this person. And I was just basically like telling myself that this is a really cool and fun hobby. And then I got to connect with people who went through the same thing I did. And there was like little things that I would get, like little DMs that I would get from certain people, and like from dads, and dads would say like, my daughter has your hair and I don't know what to do, like my wife just passed, and like I was in the service, and I need help, and like things like that would get me like super emotional. And I was like, wow, like influencers are so necessary. They can't ask Kim Kardashian what kind of hair product she's using. They can't ask, you know, Tracee Ellis Ross what she's using on her hair. And they needed us. And this is like 2016 now. And I was just like super consistent. And I was like starting to make like a little bit of money, like $200, $300, and go to events like Curl Fest and meet like all these amazing curly hair girls, and like just be a part of a community was so important for me, because I grew up not having a lot of girlfriends. Like a lot of my best friends are guys, and what can they tell me about my hair? Nothing. And my mom has straight hair, so it was like really hard to find people to connect with about, you know, products and like what my hair is doing on the third day, like, you know, talk about third day hair and pics and, you know, little things like that. And being able to be a part of a community was super, super important to me. Like that was like the number one reason why I was posting and going to these events and stuff, because I just love the community like aspect of it. Like I never was like, I'm gonna make money off of this. I'm like, no, I'm getting free products, and I meet people, and people understand what I'm going through, and then other people are asking me for help. Jackpot. Like there's nothing more that I want. And then I had left the teaching, and I went to work for Birchbox, and I was doing like beauty consulting, because beauty has always been a huge part of my life. I loved makeup, I loved hair products, I just love beauty in general. So being able to be a beauty consultant was like a big deal for me. And then I was learning about like influencer stuff and like products for all types of ages and hair, and men and women. So it was kind of working hand in hand. So it was a great job for the time being. And then I started getting like legit jobs, y'all. And then I hit like 30 or 40K on Instagram, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like I basically have 1 million followers, when I didn't. I'm telling you, it was so different back then. But yeah, so I got a really big job with one of these skincare brands, and I was doing a lot of natural hair focused stuff, and I was a natural hair influencer. That's how I started. I'll never say that I didn't. I owe everything to the natural hair industry. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for that. I loved the community. It was just amazing, but it did teach me a lot about things and working for yourself and being taken advantage of. And I just went through a lot of different things in that industry. And it just taught me a lot about myself. And that's why I'm so big with like educating about the influencer industry, because it's scary, especially if you're kind of navigating it alone. And I don't want people to make the same mistakes I did. So I just learned a lot about myself and a lot about how these brands operate and the people behind these brands operate, and you have to really protect yourself. And it was a learning process, y'all. So if you are in it right now and you are trying to navigate yourself through being an influencer in any space, any industry, give yourself, a pat on the back, because it's really hard. It's entrepreneurship, influencing, all this stuff is like really stressful, and it's not easy. So I wish you lots of luck. But back to where I was. So I remember getting I was getting consistent jobs now, and I had no management, no nothing, just being super consistent, tagging brands, reaching out to brands. I learned that closed mouths don't get fed, so I started pitching, which was really cool because it taught me a lot about myself and my work ethic, and how I was like, oh, if people can, get paid and do this, then why can't I? So I'm gonna go hard. And just me naturally a hard worker and like really believing in myself and having like a lot of confidence, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go on Sephora.com and I'm going to pitch myself to every brand I wanna try by simply emailing them or DMing them. And if they don't answer, then the only thing I can get is a no. And that's still advice that I give out to this day, is like, nobody's gonna do anything for you. You need to do it for yourself. So if you want something, then go out and get it. If you see an influencer working with a brand that you love, why can't you work with that brand? Never second guess yourself, because you can do anything that anybody else can do. And that's it with life, not just influencing. So remember that. If you take anything from this video, it's that you can do just about anything you put your mind to. And you have something to offer everyone and anything and the world. So started pitching, got like 3 responses out of the 70 that I would do every Sunday. Sunday would be my pitching day, and I would just reach out and reach out and reach out and reach out. And I would Google people's PR emails, and I would go on LinkedIn and I would creep, which still works, by the way, y'all. You could find emails anywhere, okay? You just have to be about it. So I would cold pitch, and some people are not a fan of that, and some people think it's very aggressive, but honestly, like, you gotta get this money somehow. So that taught me a lot about myself. Then I ended up going full-time, because I thought that I can make it in this influencer world, off my $500, maybe $1,000 checks if I was lucky. And that kind of like backfired, because I also suffer with debilitating migraines. So being on the internet, being on my phone, not getting good sleep, and making content all day on my little iPhone back then took up a lot of time, and it also really didn't help with my headache. So I ended up quitting my job at Birchbox, went full-time influencing, backfired, went back to work to do some freelance at a job that I absolutely hated, which was terrible. But it really taught me that the only way to see that you're worth it and you can do anything you want is by going through something really traumatic, like that job, and then saying, I'm gonna do anything I possibly can to be full-time and do this as my career, because I feel like this is where I belong. I'm supposed to help people. I'm supposed to spread the word. I'm supposed to be an outlet for fashion, beauty, travel, everything that I love. And I just need to do it. And like, that pushed me. So I worked there for 4 months, will not name the brand, but it taught me a lot about myself, and it taught me that I deserve to be respected, and the only way I'm gonna do that is if I work for myself. So went full-time for real in like 2017, ending of 2018. Then I was just so consistent, y'all. I was sickening consistent. Like, oh my God, I was posting 3 times a day, which everyone would always be like, I don't know how this girl does it. I need a drink, y'all. I was sickening consistent, like videos, Instagram posts, everything going blood, like, and I wasn't represented. I didn't have management. This loud truck right now. So I was going blood. I was going crazy. I was making content about everything. If it was the tee, if it was the shirt, if it was the blazer, if it was the thrifting, if it was the hair, if it was the product, whatever it was, I was pumping out content because I was like, listen, if I'm gonna do this full time, y'all are gonna see me on these Instagram, YouTube, Instagram, because YouTube was scary, still is. I'm sorry, I'm like just gassy out of nowhere. But yeah, I was pumping out content, y'all, and I'm gonna tell you that the goal in life is to be good at anything is consistency. If you push yourself every day, and I'm telling you, I was pushing myself, y'all. I didn't have a full-time job. My parents were side-eyeing me because I didn't have a real job. I was posting on Instagram as my job. And I know, like in the beginning, it's like a struggle. And it's a lot easier to go full-time now, y'all. I'm gonna tell you that now because y'all are making money with 5,000 followers. Before, wasn't like that. So I'm gonna tell you that it was really hard, but it was so worth it because I was in control of my destiny and I was in control of the money that was coming into me. And then I started to realize that I didn't wanna be in the natural hair space only. I wanted to be seen as a well-rounded influencer, and I made that jump to become a lifestyle influencer. And I'm telling you, it was the best decision of my whole entire life. Natural hair was great, taught me a lot, but it also restricted me and put me in a box, and I didn't want to make that content anymore. It wasn't fun. Like, I was just like, people just want me to do a wash and go every 5 minutes. And I'm like, how many times am I going to do a wash and go, y'all? This is boring. And then I would be on campaigns with people creating the same exact content. And then I've been a creative my whole life. So once I'm creating something that somebody else is already doing, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not having fun. I'm miserable. So I started doing lifestyle content. Fashion has always been a huge deal for me. I have my background in fashion and visual design, and I'm like, I need to show y'all these fits. I need to show y'all my makeup, my hair, my travels, everything. And it was hard in the beginning. A lot of people unfollowed me. I got a lot of DMs that were like, girl, nobody wants to see your outfits. We only want to see your wash and goes. And I was like, okay, deuces, because that's not what I'm doing. I don't care. Lost like 5,000 followers, set me back a little bit, but I'm like, I don't care because it opened up so many doors. And I will tell you guys that it was amazing, like to be a well-rounded influencer and to talk about everything in life rather than one thing. It was just what I needed to do. So I needed to go through that to find myself completely as an influencer, and my brand skyrocketed after that. I found my management, which I love. I got jobs like working with H&M as an ambassador for a year. Like what? Like those are things that I've dreamed about my entire like career of being an influencer, you know, like being able to step out of the natural hair world and become a lifestyle influencer that is respected within like fashion and beauty. I was like, Ty, whatever you got to go through, it'll come full circle. And then 2019 happened, and it was the best year of my life, y'all. I finally, after all the struggle and craziness and no money and campaigns that I did and got screwed over for, everything came full circle, and I became like the influencer that I've always dreamed of becoming, you know, well-rounded, respected, a very engaged community that I love, a management that I can't even imagine being where I'm at without them. Meeting so many amazing people, like close friends that I now call family. I think that I'm just in the right like mind frame, and I'm exactly where I want to be. And I've just never been happier. Like I'm finally in the career that I'm supposed to be in, and it took me a really long time. And I think I was set back a lot, but I prevailed, and I'm just so proud of myself. And I think that anybody can do anything they put their mind to, and it doesn't have to be influencing, it can be anything. So now I'm here, 2020, and I just love where I'm at in my career, and I love the brands that I work with, and I love the people I work with, and I'm just so grateful to be able to do what I love and make a living from it. And I hope my story inspires you guys to get up and do what you want. And if you want to be an influencer and you want to spread the word about cooking, gardening, housing, I don't even know if that's a word, fashion, beauty, you can do it, you know, and don't let anybody tell you any different. But I want you to understand that it is hard work, okay? It is hard work, and you need to be yourself, and you need to be genuine, and you need to love what you do and be passionate and share and keep up, be consistent, because closed mouths do not get fed, okay? I sound like a broken record, but it's true. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you want more story time videos, please let me know. I know this was 20 minutes long, and whoever watched it all the way through, you're a real one. But Thank you guys for watching. I hope you subscribe, like, comment, stay a while, and I will see you in my next video.